But it's with a really heavy heart that I get up tonight to talk about another young person losing their life in Camden. And a week ago, Calvin Bungisa was killed in Gospel Oak. And I know that the thoughts of everyone in this chamber will be with his family, his friends, and the Gospel Oak community that are grieving. And it's really hard to be here again, because it's just over a year ago that we were left as a community reeling by the deaths of Sadiq and Abdi Karim in Camden. And our community came together in the most powerful way to those deaths. Our community leaders, youth workers, teachers, ordinary members of the community all stood up to work with us to make sure that another young person didn't lose their life. And there's not a week that's gone by where youth and community organisations and the council haven't been working to make our young people safer. But we're here and we've lost another young person, and those tragic events cause all of us to realise the urgency of this work. And I think it can leave us feeling powerless in the face of this, but we need to soul search and find a way to address this and come together, because we can't just accept that this is happening on our streets, that young people can lose their lives on our streets, and that's just part of our society and how things are. We have to stop it, and we will be working to do that. And I know that there's a lot of fear at the moment, and it comes on all of us as community leaders to try and reassure and work with our community. And I know our Gospel Oak councillors, Marcus, Lorraine and Jenny, have been doing that and working really closely with a community that is grieving to come together. And we've got a meeting on Tuesday and next week to do that. We have extra police presence around the borough, but particularly in Gospel Oak. And I know that the police are working really hard to investigate what's happened. And there has been a lot we've done around youth safety, a lot of work that's gone on in the last year, and just to run through some of the things that we've been working on. One is to take a trauma-informed approach to everything we do, whether that's training our youth workers, working with our police, doing training and trauma-informed practice in our schools, but working differently with young people when they're in hospital. And Red Thread are going to be working with UCLH. These are youth workers working with young people when they're coming in with any kind of injury, to use that moment to try and change things for them. We also have youth workers and family workers now working in police custody suites, to use that moment as a teachable moment to try and build relationships. And we're working with New Horizons and clinical psychologists to go in to meet young people who are in custody on a weekly basis, to work with them, to prepare them for life on the outside. And more broadly, we're not forgetting that we need to invest in positive activities for our young people, because there is so much creativity and talent and energy, and that we saw in Asma's incredibly powerful film at the start of this meeting. And young people have ideas about how to address this, and we've employed young people who have been in the youth justice system to help us to try and solve these problems. But it needs to be a community approach. It will continue to be a community approach, and we need to dig deep and look at the ideas together to stand by our young people, to listen to them, and to make sure something like this doesn't happen again.